Hey Nessie, thanks for getting these in. I'm going to go up here to your light setup shot. And I want to give you a big photographer's trick right now. So what you have is, let me rewind a second. When we're shooting a portrait of somebody, typically, not always, but typically we want to flatter them to the best of our ability. We want to use our tools to flatter their appearance. So it's going to sound weird, but you have to really assess and quickly analyze your model's features, figure out what is problematic, and figure out a way to use your lights to solve the problem. So, what's problematic about your model is she's got these deep sunken eyes. And I am so familiar with this feature because I have deep sunken eyes. And yeah, with the wrong portrait lighting, I look about 60. And then with good lighting, I look like I'm in my 30s, because I am. Really good lighting, I look like I'm in my 20s. So here's the trick. Light from above, because it fills in those pockets. Even a passive fill from above will fill in those pockets. And so we have our light coming a little bit below her eyes, coming from a little bit below her eyes, and so in every shot, they're exaggerated. These pockets that her eyes sit in are exaggerated at every shot. Almost. Maybe not so much here, because this light seems a little bit more straight on, which works too. But straight on, and like two lights really work best for this kind of physical feature. You know, straight on and a little bit of fill from above, problem solved. Like here. They're not too bad right here, because she's looking up at the light. So that's my big photographer's trick. Notice that feature when you have to do a portrait of somebody. Notice if they have sunken eyes and correct for it with your lights. Just do it. They'll thank you. Yeah, this one's not too bad. You know, you could have put a little bit more fill up here. Even like a hair light slightly in front of her would have filled these in a little bit better. And also on this one, we can see the backlight. I see what you're trying to do is this beautiful rim light, and I love it. I love the rim light, I do, but I don't like to see it in the shot. We don't want to see that right there. Excuse me. And then this is pretty nice. The light's coming straight camera left, like directly on. Like again, you know, a little bit of fill above her would have filled those pockets in. Or even if she wasn't looking down so much. It's a nice pose, though. Actually, this is a really good idea for a portrait shoot. It's contemporarily relevant for portraiture. This is a little bit meaty here, you know, so we want to make sure we find flattering crops, because look at how much more elegant she looks if we cut out all that right there. You know, because right now she's got her arm flexed, and so her muscles are flexed and tightened, and it's exaggerating the thickness of that part of her body. So a tighter crop here would have been really, really effective. So that's my photographer's trick for you. Light from above when people have these sunken eyes. That's what I do for myself whenever I need a headshot. I light from above. And my brother, too, incidentally. Yeah. So always, you know, you have to analyze. You have to be a little bit of a critic for facial features when you're going to be doing portraiture. Figure out what's the problem and solve it. And I think, actually, you know, you did a good job. You said that she wouldn't do any big smiles, and you could tell here she's, like, holding it back. She looks like she's about to pop. And that's awkward in a photo, right? So you did a good job choosing images where she does not look like she's about to pop because she refuses to smile big. Like here, that's funny. she's about to just crack up, you know. And the puppy shots are actually okay. These, you know, it's oftentimes awkward to throw in a live animal in a photo shoot, and these aren't too bad. They look pretty good. This is adorable. It doesn't work as a final shot because, you know, we can't tell what's going on there, which makes it the narrative a little awkward. But it's still pretty adorable. You know, if you want to do this kind of shot, that's great. But you have to show us the whole human's face, because if there's anything hidden, we suddenly get really you know, our minds go there. We're like, what's going on? You know, we get really dark about the narrative. Is that puppy devouring her, or is she eating the puppy? You know, it totally went there. So you have to be careful with that. Just make sure we can always see your model's face, and then there's no room for the imagination, the dark imagination. Oh, cool. Fun. Work with that more. That looks like that's really fun. Yeah, you know, some of these are really nice. If you would, like I said, if you had added just a little bit of extra fill, these close-ups even could have been really nice. Good job getting the assignment and having to do it twice. I'm curious what you did wrong on the first time, but it seems like you were able to get this in a pinch. And you would have benefited from more light, but I know the instructions wanted you to light the background and the subject separately, so maybe that's what it was. So maybe you only have 2 lights, maybe, and you had to use one of them on the background, or you were using it as a rim. So it'd be good to invest in a kicker, or, a little extra light. Even like a handheld slave would work. For that, like a speed light that you could mount onto your camera, but also could fire wirelessly. So you could just like use some gaffer's tape and tie it on a stand, and you'd have bam, you've got a hair light or a kicker. All right, thanks, Nessie. Nice job.